The deceptive shine, the abrupt end of a two-wheeled dream. The video begins with the infectious excitement of a motorcyclist showcasing his newest achievement, a brand new Yamaha FZ250. He praises the modern design, the gloss of the black paint, and the sense of freedom the new model promises. Everything seems peaceful. The setting is a quiet riverside road bathed in the golden light of late afternoon. The rider navigates confidently through tree-lined streets, celebrating the bike's performance and the beauty of the urban landscape, where people stroll and the sun reflects off the water, creating an atmosphere of pure satisfaction and triumph. But in just a few seconds, inattention and overconfidence take their toll. At a seemingly ordinary intersection, the motorcyclist is blindsided by a truck crossing his path. The impact is inevitable. In the blink of an eye, the camera spins out of control, the sound of the crash echoes, and the new bike ends up wrecked on the asphalt, turning enthusiasm into a heavy, shocked silence.
A nova FZ250. Isso mesmo. A nova FZ250 2018, estou com a nova bichona para vocês verem. E vamos dar uma volta, vamos fazer as primeiras impressões da nossa motinha. Então vamos lá, pessoal, tá muito linda a moto, entendeu? Olha só pra você ver o design, muito top essa moto. Então vamos lá, divertir um pouquinho, vamos montar essa monstra aqui de lançamento. Vamos lá, então é nóis. Muito top mesmo, cara. Se você errar qualquer coisinha, você tá no chão. Então tem que saber correr, papai. Entendeu? Muito linda, esportiva, anda pra cacete, cara. Anda pra cacete, entendeu? Agora vamos lá. Vamos lá. Opa, papai. Opa, falando.
The line between peak joy and a serious accident is thinner than we imagine. In traffic, overconfidence can be just as dangerous as recklessness. Safety must always come before euphoria.
Que desgraça é essa? Ai! Ai do céu! Tá doendo pra caralho. Desliga ela!
Mas como?
Minha perna tá presa.
Caralho, velho, que bicho filho da puta do caralho, velho.
The danger of adrenaline, when the growl goes too far. The video begins with the motorcyclist performing risky maneuvers, known as dar growl, wheeling, on an open road. Everything seems peaceful. The day is clear, traffic is light, and the rider shows confidence while balancing the bike on just one wheel. But in just a few seconds, while attempting a bolder maneuver and shifting the bike into neutral, he loses control. The rear of the motorcycle slams violently against the asphalt, resulting in significant damage to the frame and the taillight.
Nossa, mano! Nossa! Logo rolei tem que start, tio! Nossa, mano, fudeu! Ó a traseira, rapa! Nossa! Quebrou tudo, mano! Morreu, viado. Vou ligar pro Romo. Viado! Roletei com a start, mano! Roletei com a start pra trás! Aqui na Rua do Grau, a traseira moeu tudo, mano. Eu joguei no neutro. Nossa! Caralho, viado, fudeu. Demorou.
Reflection. Life is made of choices and consequences. Seeking adrenaline through risky maneuvers may bring momentary satisfaction, but the cost of a mistake can be high, affecting not only your property but your physical integrity. True mastery in traffic lies in prudence and respecting limits.
Ó o RL. Nossa! 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 Eu falei, foi o RL.
Mano, eu tive um ataque do coração agora, velho.
Mas não tá acelerando. Tá ligada não, é outra que tá ligada ali atrás.
Esse foi meu medo. Já aconteceu isso.
Vamos ligar ela? Não ligar não?
Ai, não tive um ataque do coração.
Não tem que ligar ela?
Eu tô vendo.
Tá filmando?
A Vanessa nunca vai deixar você vir, mano.
Corta essa, corta.
The price of balance. The moment fun turns into loss. The video begins with a first-person recording of a motorcyclist performing growl maneuvers on a public road. Everything seems peaceful. The environment is a well-paved road surrounded by walls and greenery, with little traffic. The rider demonstrates skill by repeatedly popping wheelies, accelerating, and maintaining balance while the camera captures the speedometer and the roar of the engine. But in just a few seconds, while attempting a more daring stunt by shifting into neutral while the bike is vertical, the rider loses control of the tilt angle. The rear of the bike strikes the asphalt with force, making a dry thud. Moments later, the motorcyclist pulls over to find the taillight torn off and the rear fender structure completely destroyed, transforming the rush of adrenaline into a frustrated vent over the phone.
Não, tá tranquilo. Tá tranquilo. Cara, olhando no retrovisor não vi nada. Acho que você não tava muito rápido.
Reflection. The pursuit of the limit often ignores the margin for error. A single second of overconfidence can turn a show-off maneuver into a bitter loss and an unnecessary risk.
Ela dá no grau, hein, velho? Ela dá no grau. Quer ver? Vai no lá.
Calma. Cacete, viu, velho?
The price of adrenaline, where the growl goes too far. The video begins with a first-person recording of a motorcyclist performing maneuvers known as growl on a public road. Everything seems peaceful. The setting is a clear, well-paved road with little traffic, surrounded by walls and greenery. The rider demonstrates apparent control, balancing the bike on one wheel while the dashboard records the acceleration and the roar of the engine dominates the audio. But within seconds, while attempting a boulder maneuver and shifting the bike into neutral while it is upright, the rider loses control of the balance angle. The rear of the motorcycle slams violently against the asphalt, resulting in the destruction of the taillight and part of the rear fender structure. The atmosphere of fun is replaced by a vent of frustration and immediate loss.
cair, gente.
Nossa, mano.
Me empacotei, cara. Tá aqui a curva, galera. E tá aqui porque eu caí. Olha só que triste porque eu caí. Vocês estão vendo ou não? Infelizmente é o óleo na pista aqui, ó.
Reflection. The pursuit of the limit does not forgive overconfidence. A moment of showing off can cost the effort of an achievement, reminding us that true skill in traffic is that which preserves safety and property. The price of adrenaline, when the growl passes the point. The video begins with a first-person recording of a motorcyclist performing maneuvers known as dar growl on a public road. Everything seems peaceful. The environment is a clear, well-paved road with low vehicle movement, flanked by walls and vegetation. The rider shows apparent confidence, balancing the bike on one wheel as the dashboard registers the speed and the engine's roar fills the audio. But within seconds, when trying a more daring stunt by putting the bike in neutral while popped up, the rider loses control of the balance point. The rear of the bike strikes the asphalt violently, shattering the taillight and damaging the rear subframe. The mood of exhibitionism is replaced by a frustrated outburst and instant financial damage.
Tô de boa. Ué, porra é essa, velho? Não consegue abrir a porta? Não, tô de boaça, velho. Então eu tô conseguindo tirar ela daqui, né? Que porra é essa, velho?
Reflection. The search for the limit has no mercy for overconfidence. A moment of inattention can cost the hard work of a conquest, reminding us that real mastery in traffic is the kind that preserves safety and assets. The price of adrenaline, when the growl oversteps. The video begins with a first-person recording of a motorcyclist performing maneuvers known as dar growl on a public road. Everything seems peaceful. The setting is a bright, well-paved road with little traffic, bordered by walls and greenery. The pilot displays apparent confidence, balancing the motorcycle on one wheel while the instrument cluster tracks the acceleration and the engine's growl dominates the sound. But in just a few seconds, while attempting a more audacious maneuver and shifting into neutral during the wheelie, the rider loses control of the balance angle. The rear of the bike crashes violently against the asphalt, resulting in the destruction of the taillight and part of the rear bodywork. The show-off vibe is instantly replaced by a frustrated vent and the realization of immediate damage.
Oi, 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 oi.
Obrigada. Não, velho, dá pra ir. Só que costuma dar umas tombadas pro lado até prender.
Ih, rapaz. Não vai dar não. Eita, porra.
Tá, porra. Deu ruim, hein?
Tô sendo ele foi olhar a moto, velho.
Machucou, brabo?
Não, você tem certeza disso, velho.
Foi soltar as duas mãos, velho?
Fui, mano, eu tirei as duas mãos, passou demais. Passa na hora, né? Nossa, que passada, velho. Se não voltar isso aqui.
Eu caí assim também, velho.
Cai pesado aqui agora, velho.
Ô, mas não é por nada não, tá? O negócio assim salvou, tá?
Salvou. Nada, salvou nada.
Reflection. The pursuit of the limit does not overlook overconfidence. A single moment of showing off can cost the effort of a lifetime's achievement, reminding us that true skill is that which prioritizes safety and protects what we've earned.
Oi? Nossa! Machucou?
Machucou um pouquinho só.
Areia, velho.
Ui! Machucou?
Não sei. Pega.